as we celebrate today and as we reflect in terms of the things that we've gone through as individuals and also taking into account some of our responsibility within this organization, I think as much as we know about what the no cross paper statement is, I think the challenge would be also us just reflecting in terms of saying how and why, as a forklift driver, as a cleaner, what is my purpose? Why am I doing what I'm doing? Why am I a forklift driver? Not only for money, but I'm sure it's to ensure that we get products to our customer on time, rightly packed, in the manner that the customer has actually requested that. So then you will be contributing towards that purpose. And I know this is the second time around that we're doing these Purpose Awards, so you might not win today, but definitely you put yourself in a much better position to be able to win as we go forward. So I think it is about that. So as we celebrate and clap for each and everyone that has won here, and we also, those guys will also help us to see how, if we have a well-defined purpose as defined in the confines of our roles, how will that then contribute to the no cross and the TAL and what TAL is trying to achieve. So without any further ado, I think you guys have had enough from me. So I'll move on to the awards ceremony. So the Heart Award goes out to our colleague in Durban, Vikash. So I think Vikash has got quite a very long, there's a long motivation in terms of what he has been able to do. So I'm not going to read everything that has been said, but I think Vikash, the important thing is you are getting this award for displaying that achieving results alone, you're not going to get any far. So Vikash, when the Durban branch went into lockdown, I think this was in March 2020. So one of the things that he had to do was to ensure that he still be able to reach out to our customers. He started selling via cell phones, and then Durban had to quickly come up with two teams, an A team and a B team. And then part of that was when they were actually organizing this team, so some individuals would have not had some of the skills, and Vikash was one of those individuals that didn't have any administrative skills. So he didn't know how to use MSS, and he didn't even know how to answer phones, because he can only make phones out to customers and answer customer calls. So Vikash actually was the guy that made sure that we have heart for the individuals that couldn't come to work, by being the one that was at the reception answering phones. And then he was the one that was ensuring that our distribution and the logistics side is taken care of. And I'll also maybe share a story. In March this year, when we were doing the stock take, he had to stand in for Dane, and also at the same time, because he was now the guy that's overseeing the stock count, and at the same time balance that with meeting customer requirements and taking calls. I remember in the middle of the conversation when he was still explaining to me the variances, and then I'm sure the customer must have been calling him, and then he said, no, just hold on for me, I'll come back to that, there's a customer that's calling me. So for me, that was a true demonstration of heart. So we recognize you with this award, and we hope that you winning this award and what you do on a day-by-day basis will also be an inspiration to your colleagues there in Durban, because then they can see that it is possible to juggle many things and also get into areas where you're not comfortable, but because you know it takes two and even more than two to achieve better results. And I congratulate you. All right, so then we move on to the next award, the Reach. Reach is completing your own goals and also just ensuring that you support the people around you to also reach their own goals. So the next recipient is Lenny Samson. So no hugs and kisses. All right, so Lenny, I think I don't even have to read out her motivation, but I think the important thing about Lenny is He's supporting and going an extra mile. And then when we actually have the split shifts in the procurement department, Lenny made sure that everybody else was supported that was not gonna be at work. And I also can just attest to that. When I was having my own issues in finance, Lenny, through her own accord, was assisting to do GRVs, post-GRVs match invoices. Saturday, Sunday, she used to come here. And for me, it was just reaching out when she could see that the finance colleagues were struggling because of not having enough resources there. So Lenny, congratulations. He has been with TAL for some time, and I think what stands out about this gentleman is that he was one of the guys that was retrenched at some point in his career in our organization. When this gentleman was brought back into our organization, he did not only prove that he can do what's right and what's convenient in the lab, and I know I've sort of given out the name, so maybe let me call Mr. Victor Manamela to come and join me. So now I can finish the story, I think. All right, so Mr. Manamela has shown that he can stand the test of time. I think he's one of our senior citizens. I think I have to say that with respect. Ntate Manamela, despite his age, he is still able to go through the samples, test them. And I know not so long ago we had an issue on the CP side, and he was one of the gentlemen that had to try 15 different ways to find out if what could have been the cause of the problem. He could have conveniently just said, no, you know what, it might be this product, it might be this raw material. But how meticulous he was in that process to ensure, even though we might not have the right answer, but at least we've checked everything that was possible. I think if there is anything that anyone in this room can take away, is that bouncing back from being retrenched by this company and coming back and showing the dedication that he has shown, it's tremendous. I think he's been one of the valuable resources, and we hope to get more out of him, and congratulations. Oh yeah. The definition of this category is the rookie of the year. So a rookie of the year is somebody that has come into an organization, is making an impact, and when we look at him, we see much more potential, very guided. So I know he has also committed to improve his skills. He's also registered for Six Sigma, so I've given him a challenge that, you know, as I stand here, I am a black belt, so he's still struggling on his white belt. So one day he'll join me on a black belt, and then probably we can have some conversation. So without any further ado, so Thabo Ramatsebe. Thank you. Now I would hand over to Kevin. Kevin is our boss. I know the guys on the floor, and I've seen my stakeholders, the union shop stewards, are also here as well. So Kevin has recently taken over the role of Thomas Wilcox, and specifically I'm making this introduction because the guys on the floor never get emails, so they would have not seen him. So as he stands here, gentlemen, just acknowledge that Kevin is our new MD who has taken over Thomas. He's not new into the business. He was already in the business at the time of his appointment. Mr. Kevin, you can take over.
Right, morning everybody. Firstly, I'd like to say thank you for welcoming me into your house and spending a little bit of time with you. Dumi did a great job introducing the awards, and I think you've challenged everybody to think a little bit about what the awards mean and who's getting it and why they're getting it and why you're not getting it. I think that's a really good message. So the challenge is for everyone to be here next year, and hopefully you get the award, and hopefully we're not going to have this strange setting of a socially distanced awards function. Normally an awards function is a time for celebration, excitement, shouting, cheering, hugging. I even heard something about kissing, but we'll leave that for now. So hopefully, if we all can get vaccinated and life can start returning to, I don't think it will ever go back to what it used to be, but trying to get back to something close to normal. I also know that many of you are watching the food arriving over my right shoulder here, and you're starting to get hungry, so I will not be very long. But it is important just to recognize a couple of people. These awards don't just happen. We don't just decide yesterday, let's quickly put this together. So firstly, to all the people that have been involved in the nominations and the deep thinking. You heard Doomy, he keeps talking about thinking and reflection. So a lot of thinking and reflection has taken place here. So thank you to everyone who's had some input into how we go about recognizing everybody here today. Gila, of course, disappears. So just as I'm about to thank her, I think Gila does a lot that we don't really understand how it all works and how it gets done. But Gila, thank you very much for everything that you are doing. And last thank you before I get on to the MD Award is that I really deeply would like you to understand how much we value what each and every one of you does in the business. We can only recognize a certain number of people, and we spend a long time, this is the first time that I've gone through this process, a long time debating, should it be this person, should it be that person? So there are many people who could be receiving awards today. But thank you for everything that each one of you does for the business. It wouldn't be what it is without the contribution that everybody is making. And I hope that the excitement of today lasts into the future and it's not just quick. We have some excitement and some fun and then it's forgotten about. So on to what I'm actually here to do today, and that is to award the MD Award, really, which is the top recognition for your business for the year. I've also got my notes because although I often just speak off the cuff without notes, when I come with notes, then you must know what I need to say is very important, that I don't forget anything. So my notes are here to make sure that I don't forget anything. I'm also told that it's tradition that I will read out to you some of the person's characteristics and what they've done. And while I'm going, you start thinking about who that person might be, just as a little bit of fun. So the recipient of the 2021 MD Award is polite, courteous, and a peacekeeper who has meticulous attention to detail. They frequently rise at 4:30 in the morning to check and prepare their work so that others, especially our customers, aren't inconvenienced. Their colleagues gravitate towards them because they always have a kind word for them and an ear to listen. The winner started as a sales and marketing assistant at Norcross 21 years ago. She epitomizes our values of heart, reach, and mind, especially heart. Her colleagues call her their mom at work. Hopefully you've all got who it might be. The winner of this year's MD Award is Amanda Wiem. We've got one more gift to give you. If you don't mind coming back.